These days in America, we live in some very divided times, and it seems that people are getting farther and farther away from being able to even effectively communicate with each other about politics. To this end, I would love to speak to how your neurology affects your political beliefs and biases. There's something in our brain called the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is what filters information. So normally on a daily basis, we are taking in thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of information every single moment. And our unconscious mind arguably holds all of this information. But our conscious mind cannot deal with all of that information at one time. So the brain's way of dealing with this is the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system filters all of that information, categorizes it, determines what's important, and then allows you to take only the information that matters. How does the reticular activating system do this? It does this by choosing what you believe and what you focus on as the highest priority, with everything else falling underneath that. Now, this has a wide variety of impacts, but the first most important one that I want to talk about today is how this can ultimately lead us to be entrenched in our own beliefs. If, for example, you are an optimist and you believe the world is just a beautiful place and good things happen, then you are more likely to forget information that is counter to that belief. In fact, your brain will have prioritized it as less important. So ultimately, it will generalize, distort, and delete information from your mind. Similarly, if you are a pessimist and think the world is a terrible place, you will remember and take in information in your conscious mind that is supportive of that belief, leaving behind the information that might go against it. So the relationship to politics here seems really obvious to me, but I think it's something that we need to talk about. Our political views are beliefs, right? They might start with a value system, and that value system at its core, there's nothing wrong with that. But once we have a set of beliefs about a topic, our brain is literally generalizing, distorting, and deleting other information to prevent us from even seeing the other side. This is the natural way in which we become entrenched in our own views. Whether you're right or left, whether you are somewhere in the middle, whatever it is you already believe, you are most likely to never allow in information that would actually contradict that viewpoint. So for example, if you already believe that President Donald Trump is a fascist dictator, then every piece of information you receive that does not support that is just going to casually leave your brain. Consciously, you aren't even aware of this happening. So to you, it's going to seem like all of the information that you get is lending itself directly to this point, and therefore that point becomes more and more likely to you. If, on the other hand, you are one of the belief that President Donald Trump is somehow the savior of American politics and is destroying the deep state, then similarly, all of the information you get is going to be promoting that belief. And the ones that don't are just going to casually leave your conscious awareness. So what does that mean for us as humans? How do we go forward? If what we want today is unity, if what we want is community and shared opinions, how do we go forward? Well, the good news is that the reticular activating system is taking its filtering rules directly from you. You can take on beliefs for a temporary amount of time and change what you see in the political world. So, for example, if you already hold that belief that Donald Trump is a dictator, then you could entertain for a moment that the opposite were true and start actively seeking information in that direction. It works both ways. What you focus on and what you believe ultimately determines how you see the world. But those beliefs are your choosing. Let's try changing them a little bit, and this is how we eventually will come to a place of empathy for our fellow man. So when you're having these frustrating political discussions with people, instead of entrenching yourself in your own values, the way to actually see from their perspective is to try taking on their beliefs for yourself, just temporarily. It doesn't have to be forever. It can really just be for a few minutes at a time, to then refilter information in a very different way. That's just your guys' little neurology lesson for the day. Thank you very much for tuning in.